Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. I'm excited for this series. I don't know if Joe and Cody know this, but they're sort of my launch, my guinea pigs for married in real estate. I've had married couples on before, but we've talked a lot about business and not enough about the relationship and how that works and how a partnership works and all of those good things that some of us struggle with in regular world, let alone doing business together. So I'm very excited to have my friends Joe and Cody Braman on the show from way up yonder in the Arctic. Sorry, it's cold. They were telling me before. Cody's been on the show before. He's got a great history, and I just thought they worked together. What a great way to kind of kick off this series for me, because so many people want to work with their spouse and then it ends up not being great, or they haven't found the right mix. And it doesn't mean you have to be in real estate, but this particular series is about those who are married in real estate. Welcome, Joe and Cody. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, been a good day.
I'm excited to have you. All are all gussied up. They told me before we went live that they had snow, just foreign for this little old Orlando boy. So let's take a deep dive and kind of find out where you're at. Give us a little information about the two of you, a little 411 on each of you, and then we'll talk about how you came together.
Sure.
Kick it off.
So, my background, I'm from Minnesota, just like Cody, but I'm from the Twin Cities. I started in real estate in 2009 in Florida, actually in Sarasota, and was selling down there right out of college. Ultimately took a detour into finance after about a year in real estate and was selling financial services, and then wanted to come home. And so came back to Minnesota and got my MBA, and then got back into selling real estate with my brother after that. And that was back in about 10 years ago now.
So you left the cold, came to the beach, Sarasota area, and you went back to the cold.
I did.
You must have been homesick.
I was very homesick.
I love that though.
I moved down there with two of my best friends from high school, and one of them is still down there. So, we have one lasting impact. Yeah.
And how about you, Cody? Tell us about you.
Yeah, so I've been in real estate now, or I guess a little background before that. I'm from Minnesota as well. Been here for a while. Took into entrepreneurship for most of my life. Worked a lot of odd jobs, and then got involved more in mixed martial arts and training. And then it was maybe like 4 years ago now, I broke my leg in a competition, and then Joe started talking to me about real estate and a different branch of real estate that I might be interested in, and then kind of just fell in love with it and ran with it hard. And that was about like 2 years ago. But like, short story, started to find some success, and we bought a franchise, and then we bought a few franchises, but then just really started to focus on bridging the gap between real estate agents and investors. And now kind of here we are.
You two, obviously this series is married in real estate. What was that like when did you both get into the business Joe's been in it longer than you have. So Joe was obviously did you meet and get married prior to being in real estate, or did you get into real estate and then get married?
We met before the real estate. I mean, well, he was currently doing it, but I was not.
Yeah. So you were doing the real estate side, and Cody was doing the break a leg kind of scenario.
Exactly.
So what was that like from both your perspectives? Joe, did you just see something in Cody's, like, I think with your personality, you do great in this? What was the thought process there? Because it's not always a great match. It's not always, I mean, you want to complement each other, but what was your thought process as far as getting Cody involved?
I had found some success in real estate just by doing the things that I was good at. Cody is good and really good at all the stuff I'm really bad at. And so, I, for a long time have, wanted to figure out a way that we could sort of blend our skill sets. And I also wanted to find a way to distract him from fighting people in a cage.
Now there's some honesty. I love that.
And so when he was laid up with a broken leg, I saw my opportunity, just started talking to him about it, and it seems to work.
So, Cody, what about from your perspective? Did Joe have to drag you kicking and screaming with one leg down to real estate, or how did that work? Were you immediately open to it, or were you like, oh God, I could never do that?
He did try before I broke my leg. That is when I was completely not receptive to it. Just probably a little intimidated. I was scared of it. I always thought real estate people are just like the most professional people that just, I don't know, I was like, I just don't fit in that mold. But then when he kind of just showed me kind of this real estate guru out there, I fell in love with his energy, and kind of how he just presented himself and how he taught the real estate, and for what he was teaching, it clicked. And I don't know, I fell in love instantly with it, and then I just wanted to know more. I think it really helped, though, honestly, having Joe, having him be in real estate, having the knowledge and the terminology, because I've seen a lot of people join real estate and they don't, a lot of them drop out because I feel just lack of knowledge or lack of somebody that can be patient with them to help them understand everything. And I really gained that through Joe, helping me just understand things my way. I'm a very, I learn very differently, and through time, Joe figured out how to teach me, and through that, we went to the races.
That's the beauty of any relationship, though. I think business professional combination is learning how the other person learns, learning how they ingest knowledge and disseminate it, and how they take it, because everybody does it differently. Joe, you said earlier that Cody likes to do the things, you didn't say strengths and weaknesses, but in my mind, I was thinking things that you don't like to do. What's the number one thing that Cody does that is just not in your wheelhouse?
Podcasts.
God, I set that one up. Well, thank you for agreeing to be on the podcast. I appreciate it.
I twisted his arm for this one.
What is it about that? I understand that he's got this experience in this world where you have to be animated, you have to be larger than life, and so podcasting, I would think, would come natural to somebody like Cody. But what is it about podcasting that's not in your wheelhouse?
I've just never liked being front and center, in any regard. I like handling, our systems. I play in spreadsheets all day. Anything that happens behind the scenes, I love. Anything that happens, in the front, I, get nervous, and it's just not.
You're doing a great job, by the way. Thanks, Cody, what about Joe? What is the thing that he handles that is just not in your wheelhouse that you're so happy you have a partner that handles that?
I mean, honestly, the systems and creating the spreadsheets and the structures. I think the difference between ultra performers and high performers are those systems, and following that, and that is something that Joe is so good at. And kind of like what he said, if I didn't have him, I guarantee you my business would have failed. So it's hand in hand for sure.
I love that you all recognize that, because I think a lot of times when you're in any kind of partnership, you sometimes forget those things. The reason why you're in a partnership, you don't really want two Codys and no Joe. You
Right.
have to have the processes you have in order to be a higher performer, I think is what you said, Cody, and you're right. What was it like to then go, all right, we're in business? Are your decisions, do you have conversations at home about both business and personal? Do you separate them out? Do you have any kind of in-house rules where things are off limits during the weekend? Or I've had people on who are married and they're like, well, we don't talk about business at dinner. I'm like, okay, well, there's something. Is there Is there any of that you all do, or does it all kind of go together?
No, it's our life.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I don't think. Do we? I don't think
Well,
so.
I think we had to learn that if someone does not want to talk about business
We
in the
respect
moment, that it's no questions asked. We just stop.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's probably the biggest thing.
And I think,
Uh,
yeah, we had to learn that too.
We had to
because-
learn that,
yeah.
and we had to learn what parts of the business are our domain, right? You know, what things do I handle? What things does Cody handle? And then really just trusting each other to run with it and trust their decision.
It was
making
easy
and
to
their
trust him,
respective-
though.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It was easy. You got to
Well,
trust me.
I feel like you're right though, Joe. It's hard because you have to bless and release. If you know that person, it's in their domain. If you continue to veer into their lane, that's normally where things become problematic. Because I had my wife, when my wife worked for me, one of the insurance worked with me. She'll say for, but I usually say with me at one of the insurance agencies I owned. And she was coming in before me and leaving after me. And so and she wouldn't stop. I had to actually go, "You're fired. You've left. I need your key." Because that wasn't work. We also had 3 kids. I mean, I was strolling in at 10 and leaving around 4. But you have to come to an agreement on those terms, and you have to kind of stay in your lane. And she was taking on more than I wanted her to, which wasn't productive for either one of us, and especially at home. So let's talk about KeyGlee North. Let's talk about purchase. Did you all purchase or get into that together as a couple, or Joe, had you already been investigating that, or Cody?
We went down this path together. Yeah. So I had been in kind of traditional real estate sales. And then at the time, I was a branch manager for Coldwell Banker. So I was managing about 5 offices and a few hundred agents in the East Metro. So I'd been out of sales for a couple of years and really missed the hustle of it. And so this was an exciting opportunity to sort of blend my way back into the business itself.
For sure.
And what was the attraction to KeyGlee? Tell us again a little bit about the model, and then what was the attraction in that? What was it that you said, all right, this is something that we should do together?
I think the opportunity. There's just so much opportunity, especially with him being on the traditional side. When it first started off, we just learned so much about like wholesale real estate, and then we're learning how we can add to our tool belt. And I think that was the biggest thing, because he was really creating a pipeline in his traditional, and then like I was falling in love with this wholesale side, and we were finding the way how we could blend the two together and create more opportunities just for everybody. I mean,
I think one of the things that I liked most about it is coming from the traditional side of real estate. The KeyGlee model is built on the idea that agents are the crux of the market, right? And so the agents are the ones that are in front of consumers every single day. And so as someone in wholesale, we don't need, and we probably shouldn't be going directly to the homeowner and, working out that deal. In our scenario, every single consumer is represented, and that's really important to us. And it allows kind of the bridge between investors and realtors to really work. And so for me, coming from the traditional side where investors have this terrible reputation and like no one wants to work with investors, I always just thought that was dumb. It just doesn't make sense. We all want to do deals. We just have to figure out the right way to do them. And so I think that the KeyGlee model is really the best in the industry at that.
It's so one thing I'll share with you, that when Cody first started talking about KeyGlee, I thought, this is a singing thing he's doing. As usual, I didn't do my research. But once I did, and I understood, and I looked at it, I thought, what a unique approach to real estate. What an almost all-encompassing, as best as you can be when you're all-encompassing.
Sure.
Tell me about when you're building a team. Do you all have roles in that? Is one person the attractor and one person the manager? How does that work? Because obviously if we've ever built teams before, you know that the more they grow, the more that becomes part of your day-to-day life is taking care of them and working with them and managing them. So who has which role, or do you both share it?
A little bit of both, I'd say, but I'd say definitely he is the more putting people in their strategic role so they can blossom at that.
Yeah, one of the things I learned when I was managing those agents was that I'm really good at helping them build a business, at putting them in the right roles, but I'm terrible at building culture. And so, Cody has really taken over building out the culture of our team, making it a fun and a loving environment for our team to be in. And I focus on the spreadsheets.
Not just the spreadsheets. I mean, like there's this we have we have agents on our team, and so we have acquisitions agents, and those are the people that are like cold calling and doing text messages every single day to other real estate agents in our area to see, I'm their client, that we're looking for our next investment opportunity. And so they're trying to just find it through that. And then we have the other side where the disposition, where once we have properties under contract, now their main job is to move that across the finish line and find the person that wants it. So, I mean, they all have their specific roles and their duty that I'd say he strategically made, though.
I love that. Tell me about one question about the business model. You all know there's been an insane amount of disruption, whether it needs to be that insane or not, in our industry of late. When somebody's looking at a brokerage, a model, what would you say is the one thing coming from traditional Joe that is attractive, that you all offer, that you do, that you have created, that is different and would separate you out from other opportunities or options they might have?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think for anyone that's considering joining the wholesale side of our team as an acquisitions agent or a dispositions agent, that is as close to a corporate real estate job as you can get, right? It's Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We don't want our people working on the weekends. We have very specific numbers and systems so that they don't have to. If they hit the numbers and work the systems, they should not have to do anything after hours or on the weekends, unless, as you know, right, like an inspection contingency is about to expire. But even then, we made it, our kind of standard operating procedures are that we don't let things expire on the weekends. We don't let things expire after 5 p.m., that type of stuff. And so it's a really great way for someone to be in real estate when they are trying to balance a lot in their life.
That's fair.
On the traditional side, it's
sweet because we can opt. I think it's so cool. What we're different is on the traditional side, we just have that tool about we go to these sellers and we can tell them how much they're going to net on a cash offer, how much they would net on a creative offer if they wanted to go that route, or how much they would make on a traditional offer, and we listed it, just so we're just creating more opportunity, for the seller.
I love that y'all are having that conversation, but I think what's my belief is, as once the dust begins to settle, whenever that'll be, and we stop screaming Chicken Little, I believe that your model, especially that more corporate model, will be attractive to people. I think that there will be a lot of people who are like, I want to learn more about that. I mean, I just want to learn more about it because it's got the word Glee in it. I just think it's a happy name. I mean, how can you not like it? I don't know. KeyGlee is great. Tell me about what your thoughts are on just quick, and you can just be as quick as you want. Is the sky falling? What would you recommend to an agent who is like, oh my God, I should get out now because the NAR ruling is going to completely change my life for the worst?
Yeah, it's an absolute nothing burger. If you in real estate, our job is to serve clients, right? And nothing has changed about that. the type of conversation you might have with your buyer during your initial consultation might change, but nothing after that has. And so I think that it's the great distractor of 2024, but the people who just keep their head down and focus on their clients it's going to be fine.
Agree. I totally agree.
Or you can join our team and we'll help you through it.
That's it. That's how I promote my recruiting. I'm like, are y'all scared of NAR? Let me help you out. I think NAR. I think it's I love that. I love the way that you put it. And it's business as usual. You just need to figure out how you're going to communicate. I feel like communication and negotiation, which a lot of agents didn't realize that's they were doing the whole time. And so now they're like, oh my God, I have to negotiate. And so we're going to have to reteach them that really, okay, that's sort of what you were doing anyway. You just didn't know it. As we wrap up, I'd like to ask a little bit of a personal question, not too personal, I promise. What is the thing about the other? So I'll start with Joe. Joe, what is it about the number one thing about Cody from a personal standpoint, from a person, a human standpoint, that you absolutely love and respect?
Jeez.
Characteristics.
So we're redoing our vows right now.
I could marry you again.
Yeah. It's the energy and the light that he brings into the room wherever he is. He has a kind of infectious energy that just, whether or not you want to, you end up having fun and smiling. And for me specifically, I need that. I need a lot of that. So
I love that. Thank you. How about you, Cody, for Joe?
Man, he's radically changed my life. But I just think the way that he views the world has been the biggest thing that has changed my life. He wakes up and he doesn't have all these crazy goals. He just wants to see how people react to things and just learn from other people. And it might sound a little silly, but when I heard that, it just kind of clicked with me, because he's just always so calm and always has the answer for everything, and I've always wanted to know. And I think it's just because how he just observes everybody, and he doesn't forget things. And to me, that's a very attractive quality, and I just fell in love with it.
That's awesome. I love it. All right. So what's the best way that they can find you two? How can they reach you? Where do you want to send them? Give us all of the information.
Well, if you're interested in joining the team, you can go to joinkeyGlee.com, and that will book you into my calendar, and we can talk more about the different opportunities we have.
Or if you're just looking for, content or tips on how to start scaling your business, or if you want to look at any of our investments, we have about 20 investment opportunities currently right now. You can always just visit our social medias, and it's just KeyGlee North on all platforms.
What a joy to have you all on. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing. I love an honest, open discussion. And what's great for me is knowing Cody, not Joe, or knowing Cody from afar and not Joe. The relationship, the discussion, the mutual admiration and respect is palpable. And I love that. You can feel it even from way down here in the South. But I appreciate you guys coming on and sharing. You all reach out to Cody and Joe. Their information scrolling across the bottom there. They're on social media. Join KeyGlee. Is it joinkeyGlee.com? Or if they want to reach out to Joe to learn more about the opportunities, but reach out to them. They are wonderful, warm human beings, which we need more of in our crazy little world. So thank you, Joe and Cody Braman, for being on the show. I appreciate you both.
Thanks, Ted. It's great to be here.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, guys, reach out.
Right.